everyone. Hope you can hear me. Let's see who's first in. Live from Benidorm. Good morning, everyone. On the beach, you join me on the beach. Let's see who's first in. We'll have a little chat today. Today it's going to be about what you guys want to talk about. Morning all. I can see you starting to come in now. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. Good morning all. That's it. I can see you all piling in now. Sorry for the slow start. Welcome back, everyone. We are on the beach in Benidorm. It is a fairly decent day. Now, I'm obviously on the mobile, so hopefully the reception and the picture and the sound is all good. Wow, you're all piling in. Good to see you all. I won't read all the names out, but I can see you all. So, this is the view this morning from Benidorm. I'm an hour in front of you guys, obviously. Just thought we'd have a little chat. The daytime lives are actually a little bit more personal because we don't get so many people in. So sometimes it's nicer when, you know, the crowd isn't so big. Yeah, my videos are being censored by YouTube. A black screen, you're telling me? That's really odd because I can see everything here. Can everyone see me? Let you know if you can see me or not, guys. All good, yeah, I can see fine, yeah. Thank you very much. Excellent. I haven't seen Danny Tomo's clip this morning, not yet. Let me just give you a little view of where we're at. There's the sea this morning. Thank you very much for the confirmation, everyone. The beach is nice and flat. Every morning they go over it with some kind of rake. People coming in from all over the world. Lovely to see you all. So let me know what is going on with Danny this morning. I haven't actually seen that. What I was going to mention to you today was, well, it was good to see Ben back on the Talk TV last night for the first time in about, 7 months. Talk TV finally got their act together and got Ben back on with Kevin O'Sullivan. I like Kevin O'Sullivan. He's a fellow Fulham supporter, so you're blessed to be able to access the beach. Yes, definitely. French stopping them from going. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, does it? Thoughts on the new Speedy? I've only seen it once, not had it in hand, but it looks very nice. I like the sort of 3D dial. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning. 420 people watching so far. No doubt that number will go up as we go along. Danny's okay. Yep, he's doing very well. Thank you. Danny's good. So, yeah, it's up to you guys what you want to talk about today. But it doesn't surprise me that the French are putting a stop to, digital ID mandatory U-turn. Yeah. So yeah, it was good to see Ben back on last night. As I say, first time in 7 months. Hopefully that sets a precedent and we'll see him back on the GB News as well. Yeah, the Chief Constable in the West Midlands. Yeah, he definitely should resign. He's up to his neck in it, isn't he? Up to his neck in it. We all knew this. This is all things that you know, the general public, those that are awake. These are all things that we knew. Reform showing their true colours, absolutely. The Deans are Howie. A big fan of the old jabby jabby. Reform are now effectively Tories 2.0. Well, they're kind of worse than that, aren't they, really? Because not only have they got all these ex-Tories, they've even got ex-Labour people. It's a bit of a mongrel party, isn't it, really? Lots of people leaving Reform. Tina, you're absolutely right. The natural home for all of us patriots is Advance UK. I was watching, who was it? Was it Dan last night? Who was it talking about? No, it was Jeff Taylor. It was the excellent Jeff Taylor. Yes, fine times. You read my mind. I hope Rupert Lowe does not start a new political party. That would be an absolute frigging disaster. Everything French should now be avoided by true English, Scottish, Welsh and Irish patriots. Yep, there is indeed a nasty pattern going on with Reform. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, I mean, look, this pattern that is slowly but surely being revealed by Reform is not news to us that have been involved with them in the past. Carol Patrick, Paul, I was listening to Jeff Taylor yesterday. He spoke about Rupert Lowe, Ben Habib and Nick Tenconi should get together and join Advance UK. He did explain why. It's to do with X. Yeah, I mean, look, I've said it till I'm blue in the face. For me, from the day I first started talking about politics on YouTube, for me, it's always been about unity, always. It's been about unity, putting minor differences to one side. And uniting for the greater cause. Unfortunately, what I've learned in 2 years now that I've been speaking about politics, the one thing that I've learned is that unifying the British people is a lot harder than I thought it would be. I was very naive when I first got into politics, and I was naive because I thought that most people like myself would look at the bigger picture and would do the right thing, all join together to save our country and make our children safe. David, you're absolutely bang on the money, too many egos. But I was wrong. I mean, one thing that I've always been good at, and I'm not saying this myself, this is what people have told me in the past. Whatever business I've been in, whatever realm that I've been in on YouTube, before it was luxury watches, that was my living, you know that, right? And the one thing that people used to tell me that I was good at was unifying people. People often used to say, Paul, you're the glue that keeps a community together. And I thought naively that I could replicate that in the world of politics. That was my aim. It was my aim to unite Ben with Tommy. It was my aim to unite Rupert Lowe with Tommy. It was my aim to unite all those further to the right, to take a little step back for the greater cause. And for those slightly on the left, good morning, Ian. Thank you very much, mate. Coffee, cake and custard when you finish streaming. Ian, God bless you. Thank you very much. Love you, Ian, by the way. One of my mods and a top friend. Everyone needs a friend like Ian. God bless you, mate. But uniting people. Well, yeah, I'll go back to what I was saying. I was hoping that people that are on the sort of left centre would see sense and unite so that we could all unite, not on the right, but on what is right, what we know to be right, good versus evil. But I've not been able to do it. Yes, I've played a small role in things like bringing Ben and Tommy together, hopefully in the Unite the Kingdom movement and Advance UK, bringing the working class, not just the working class, all of us, but in particular the working class, because it's the working class that I have a special affinity with. Even though I've spent the last 15 years, 20 years of my life mixing and associating outside of the working class, in all honesty. You know, most of my friends in recent years have been wealthy individuals. They haven't had to worry about paying the bills, or, you know, they haven't had to worry about finances. But I never, ever, ever forgot or could give up where I came from, and that's working class. And that's where I belong. I don't belong in the jet set. I don't belong amongst the Ferrari owners and the Lamborghini owners and the jet setters of Dubai. That's not where I belong. I belong with the working class, and I thought the working class would unite. But there's too many egos. Jeff, I love Jeff and Richard to bits. Two of the best people. The problem with UKIP for me, and I like Nick, you know, I've got nothing against Nick. Every now and again we'll exchange a WhatsApp, not very often I will say, but every now and again. He was very kind enough to send my audience a lovely Christmas message, which is more than some others could be bothered to do. So fair play to Nick for that. The problem is that I have with UKIP, have you seen their new logo? Have you seen UKIP's new logo? I mean, really? Really? Yeah, Nick's a good lad. But have you seen UKIP's new logo? For God's sake. Talk about arse for it. I mean, UKIP, come on. Come on, UKIP. What are you doing? What are you playing at? Who are you trying to attract with a logo like that? And what do you think the mainstream media will do to you with a logo like that? What do you think? Seriously, guys. That's not unity. That's not standing together. That's not looking at the greater cause for me. That's not joining up as a force, as the British people. You know, the wonderful British people that we know we are. Thank you so much for that. That's not the unity that we need. That's not the direction that we need. I was watching Richard Inman earlier on. Brilliant video from Richard Inman earlier. And I would repeat virtually every word that he said. Super sharp blades. I'll be honest, Paul, before you started talking politics, you seemed a more happy, content person. Well, that's probably true. But you take on this job. This is why sometimes, you know, people like myself, not just me, other people in the sphere, whilst we get a bit frustrated and treated unfairly by those that don't understand, you go into this knowing full well what is going to happen to you. You know full well, and if you don't know full well, you haven't done your research You know what's going to happen. You know what you're going to become a victim of. You know how people are going to treat you. You know what it's going to do to your living. You know what it's going to do to your family. If you're not prepared for those things to happen, then don't do it. But if you are prepared to do that, yes, of course I was happier in my previous life. Of course I was. Why wouldn't I be? No grief. Everyone was always pleased to see me. I didn't have to worry about going into London or into Brighton because some crazy lefty was going to try and smack me on the back of the head. But we fight for the greater cause. Mons says it's a Templar cross. Well, that's one way of looking at it. But you know full well that other people are going to look at it in a different way. Thank you, Tina. Yes, I am fighting for the country. And this is the problem. Not everyone is going to agree with everything I say, and I get that. I understand that, and I appreciate that. And more than anything, I really do understand it. Why would you think anyone would believe that everyone should agree with everything they say? Of course not. I don't get everything right. I know that. And there are people out there, myself, that I don't agree with everything they say. I don't even agree with everything that Richard says. I don't agree with everything Tommy says. I don't agree with everything that Nick Tanconi says or anyone else, but the greater good. And that's what the left are good at. The left are so much better at us, at unifying. They don't give a shit about someone having slightly different causes to them. They will join together. Yeah, I'm trying, Tina. You try, you know. You try. And that's all you can do is keep trying. I mean, look, guys, for you in there, if you can find that new UKIP logo, let me know what you think. Is that a logo that is going to unify, attract? Is it a logo that's going to become a serious force in British politics, or is it just about, well, make up your own minds what it's about? Thank you, Caroline. Carol, sorry, thank you, Carol. Make up your own minds what it's all about. You know, there is only one political party, and I'm sorry to keep banging on about this. Marcel, good morning from Germany, mate. Our watch community, especially with you, was fantastic, but there are more important things in life. You made the right decision. I'm with you, mate. Marcel, my German brother, thank you very much. Lovely to see you. Haven't spoken to you for a while. Marcel, drop me a message. Drop me a WhatsApp, mate, because we're having a bit of a get-together next year, and it'll be good for you to come along. It's the cross of Christianity. Well, it don't look very Christian to me, if I'm honest. Now, it may well be, and it may have a deeper meaning, but look, you only get one chance at a first impression, right? That's not up for debate. Everyone, no matter what you do in life, you get one chance at a first impression. There is no such thing as a second chance at a first impression. 1,000 people watching. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. There is only one party for us patriots, for the people that really care. And that is Advance UK and the magnificent Ben Habib. He truly is a magnificent individual. Rupert was saying yesterday that he believes that we need a new generation of politicians who have never been politicians, and I agree. I agree with Rupert on that. Marcel, I think I might have your WhatsApp. I might. If I have, I'll drop you a message. One of the lads surely must have, but we'll see what we can do. Deborah, it's a great point. I love Ben, but why doesn't Rupert join? Listen, I go back to what I was saying a little bit earlier on. Trying to unite the right, or the centre right, or whatever, trying to unite good. Let's put it that way. Trying to unite sensible people is like trying to herd bloody cats. They all run off in different directions, all want to do their own thing. There's a couple of people who is Ant Middleton with. Look, again, you know, I'm just going to say it, right? I'm not going to beat around the bush or sugarcoat this. I met Ant in Poland. Lovely, lovely, lovely guy. Lovely guy. Really had a lot of time for Ant. And more importantly, he had time for me. He wasn't one of these people that wanted to pay me a bit of lip service and run off. You know, we spent about an hour chatting. And I was, you know, I said, Ant, come on, mate, come and join us at Advance. We need you, we want you, come and join Advance. No luck. Why? You know, I think Ant will have an answer to that. He told me his answer to that, and I respect it. I can't say I agree with it, but you know, unless we can pull our socks up and get our act together, we're knackered, we're screwed. And the thought of Rupert potentially setting up another party, oh my good God, that would be absolutely catastrophic. What do you think about Danny and Ryan being banned from France? Well, it's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. How comes they can ban Danny and Ryan from France, but they can't ban people from coming over? Caroline, the Templar Cross is a sign of defending Christianity and the country. If you think otherwise, maybe learn about the Crusades, the truth, not the lies of decades. Problem with that is, Caroline, it's not me that's going to have to look up and learn about the true meaning, is it? It's about 10 or 15 million other people who will only ever read the Sun or the Daily Mail, right? So, you know, you can preach, you know, people can preach to someone like me and say, oh, come on, Fulpy, you should know the meaning of that cross. Look, it's a black iron cross, right? The first thing you think of when you look at it is a World War I German medal, right? I don't care about its true meaning. Like I said, first impressions last. Now, it can mean anything you like. It can represent all things good. It can represent anything you want to say it represents, but it doesn't change the public's perception of it. And it's not doing yourselves any favours. It's just a minor thing. It's something that I wanted to bring up this morning. That's my view. I'm entitled to it, right? We all know that the swastika, if you turn it around, if you mirror the swastika, it's some kind of, I don't know, what is it? Some kind of Zen symbol from 1,000 years ago. It's got nothing to do with Germany, Nazi Germany. But if you show someone that sign, that Zen sign, which is basically a swastika backwards, what do you think people, yeah, it's a Hindu sign, I think you're right. What do you think people, it's a Buddha symbolism from over 3,000 years ago. Right, okay, thank you. So if I was to use that as a good Buddhist sign from 3,000 years ago, do you think people would go, oh, that's a good sign from Buddhism 3,000 years ago? Or would they say, that looks like a swastika to me? We should all pester Rupert until he does. See, listen, I think Rupert's very single-minded. You know, look, do I support Rupert? Of course I'd support Rupert. Which right-minded person wouldn't support Rupert? No, look, Julie, I'm fine. Thank you very much. There's a few things been bothering me since Christmas, you know. One is my grandchildren went home and I went into a fit of depression for a week or so because I don't know when I'm going to see them again. I've already mentioned that. That's the biggest thing in my life. The other thing is that you start to... You know, I said this in a video recently, I actually, believe it or believe this not, right, I don't care what people believe, but this is the truth. I do what I do because I believe in what I do, I believe in our country and I believe in wanting to save our country, right? The UKIP cross is better than the half moon and star. May well be, but that wouldn't do very well either, would it? Well, look, let the public be the judge of the new UKIP symbol, and let's see what type of individual and what type of voter that it's able to attract, shall we? And we'll talk again in a year's time. Fine time, my eldest is 22 today. Happy birthday to them. I left the UK for her. Can't say I was wrong, absolutely. Ben would stand aside for Rupert. This is what I do not understand. You know, do you know what, Deborah? I think Ben would be wrong to stand aside. And I'll tell you what else I can't make out as well. And I think I know the answer. I think I know the answer. When I see the polls that are run on YouTube channels, who would be your preferred leader, Ben Habib or Rupert Lowe? Rupert tends to win, right? Rupert tends to win. And I don't understand that. I think the reason is because Ben is half Pakistani. And people want a white English Brit in charge of their party. And I understand that, I get that. But please trust me when I tell you something, right? I know Ben. I know him very well. And you got it wrong. You really have got it wrong. The big difference for me between the two of them, Ben and Rupert, and again, I'm going to drop some truth bombs this morning. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm fed up with mincing with words and hinting at things. I'm just going to tell you it as it is. Ben is a man of the people. And when I say he's a man of the people, I mean the people. That's you and me. As well as people who have got multiple £1 million, as well as people who are rich, as well as people who have something to offer him. Ben is a true man of the people. How many times have you seen Ben appear on smaller YouTube channels? How many times have you seen Ben appear on my channel? Ben asked me to be a part of the party, to sit on the college, which is a huge compliment that, frankly, I don't feel that I deserve, but I'm there because Ben is a man of the people. He feels that I have a connection with the people and he likes that. Rupert Lowe won't even answer my phone calls. He won't even answer my text messages. He certainly won't appear on the show. Why? Because he's too busy speaking to people like Connor Tomlinson and Carl Benjamin and the Andrew Golds. Why? Because they have a better accent than I do. That's why. Yes, Rupert is brilliant, Russ. He is brilliant, but he's not a man of the people, for me. Ben isn't aloof like most politicians. Absolutely, he's most definitely not aloof. Ben will stop and speak to anyone, and he gives everyone the time of day, and he pays everyone the respect they're due until they prove otherwise. This is not about your ego, Paul. I know it's not, Tilly. I'm using myself Tilly, are you really that stupid, with all due respect, right? It's got nothing to do with one appearing on my show and one not. What it is that reflects the individual. It doesn't reflect me, or it doesn't upset my ego. I couldn't give a shit, quite honestly, if Rupert Lowe comes on my channel or not. I really couldn't give a shit. I really couldn't care less. It won't matter to me one jot, Tilly, if Rupert comes on my show or not. I really don't care, and I promise you I mean that. But what it tells you is that he looks upon some of us as that lot. Right? That's the bottom line, Tilly. It's got nothing to do with my ego. I couldn't give a fuck. Excuse my language. But what I do care about is politicians caring about you guys. That's what this whole goddamn thing is all about. It's not about individuals. It's precisely the opposite, Tilly. It's not about my ego. It's not about Rupert's ego, or Connor Tomlinson's ego, or Cole Benjamin's ego, or Maya Tuzi's ego, or Richard Inman's ego. It's not about any of us. It's about the people. And that's you. Rupert has never called anyone that lot. No, he hasn't. And look, after everything I've said, watch my lips. I support Rupert Lowe 100%. 100% I support Rupert Lowe. But he doesn't support us as much as Ben does. Who are us? Well, us are the working class. This is what I'm trying to explain. We're standing up for the working class. Benny's a man that's prepared to stand up and fight for the working class. The vast majority of people in our country are the working class. That little video that I played the other night. No, it's not that Rupert doesn't like me, mate. It's not that at all. I'm just not good enough for him. And that's fine, I get that. But if I'm not good enough for him, neither are you. That's the point. I think Rupert does support the working class. You know what, Helen, I think he probably does, but what is his version of the working class? You've got to remember something with Rupert. And again, I'm not attacking the guy. For anyone out there who thinks I'm attacking Rupert, I am absolutely not. I'll say it again, I support Rupert fully. Yeah, Connor says, I swear people are not actually listening to what you're saying, Paul. I think you're right. They're not listening, either because they're incapable of listening or they don't want to hear what I'm saying. Yes, Rupert has empathy. Let me tell you something about Rupert. Rupert is a former football chairman at Southampton Football Club. Now, I've known a number of football chairmen myself, and I have a respect for them because being a football club chairman brings you into contact with ordinary people, a lot of ordinary people. Okay? But at the same time, it also teaches them, in many respects, to keep the working class at arm's length, because if you get too involved with them, they can become problematic. Now, that's actually, to be fair, it's not a bad shout. If you get too involved with the fans of a football club, for an example, and I'm using them as an example because Rupert is the former chairman of Southampton Football Club, and I've known chairman of football clubs myself. I know that if you get too close, sometimes it can be a bit of a problem. Okay. And there might be a little bit of that with Rupert. He might be right. He might be deliberately keeping the working class public at arm's length. Paul, how can you lecture England when you left old bore off? The shit's coming out of the wrong end of you, Paul, Ben, yeah, blah, 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 bore off. I do love it when I get comments like that. It just reminds me that there are still plenty of idiots out there. These are the people, make no mistake, the people attacking me in the comments now, these are the very people who cause division amongst those that want to make our country great again. You know why? I'll tell you why, because it's not all about them and exactly what they want. They want exactly what they want, and sod the rest of the world, they're not prepared to budge an inch. Cheers, Phil. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. Love you too. And this is the problem. No, I'm not biting. I'm just having a little nibble back. You know, I see some of these comments and, you know, it's just a shame really, because I guess watching this channel, they're all on our side, or they think they're on our side, but actually they're doing more harm than good. Cheers, Connor. Yeah, exactly, mate. Mr. Mark, I like both Rupert and Ben Habib because they speak English well. It's important when you're a patriot. Listen, for the 10th time, because I know how stupid some of these people are, I support Rupert Lowe, and if I saw him walking down the street now, I would want to shake his hand and thank him for his work. I couldn't care less whether he appears on my show, whether he likes me, whether he dislikes me. And do you know why I don't care? Because ultimately, that will not affect the future of our country. That will not affect the future of our country. But what it will affect, for example, if Rupert was to become Prime Minister, will he look after the working class like Ben would? I'm not so sure. I'm sure we'd get a lot of the things that we want under Rupert, and he would have my vote. If he had a chance of becoming PM, he would have my vote. But what we're not in need of is another political party. We really don't need that. Ego ruins the UK. Spot on it does. We need to stick together. Alan, we need Rupert and Ben to work together. Absolutely. Save the United Kingdom. Thank you very much. We do need, I mean, Rupert, if you get to watch this, for God's sake, man, pick up the phone, ring up Ben and get together. Boy, oh boy, watch how you two would fly together. You two together. Rupert, what part of this don't you get? You and Ben together would smash reform, and you would charge to victory for our country. Rupert, come on, man. Come on. For the sake of that, if you love this country as much as you say you do, what a team you would be. Can you imagine Rupert Lowe and Ben Habib, leader and deputy leader? Oh my God. I think Nigel would give it up. I think Nigel will pack his bags and go home. They would be massive, absolutely, Leo. They would be massive. We would win. Rupert has got Elon's backing. Ben has got Elon's backing. It's all there. And what worries me is, I saw this before the last general election. I thought naively that Nigel Farage and Reform were going to do the job. And Nigel Farage had it all before the general election. Pretty much had it all. He had the world at his feet. He and Richard Tice blew it. They blew it, and they're continuing to blow it. And everyone is starting to see that everything we've been saying has been true. This is why that back door is open for Ben and Rupert. Helen, thank you so much. We need a letter to Rupert to join with thousands signed. Look, guys, it's down to you. Every time you see Rupert on the live stream, every time you see a video from Rupert, get in the comments and say, Rupert, come on, join us at Advance UK. And this is the fear that I have, is that we've got it all now. We've got it standing right in front of us. We've got Ben Habib and Rupert Lowe, leader and deputy leader, potentially. Thank you, well done, Debbie. And I'm sure, even right now, that if Rupert said, Ben, I'll join if I can become leader, well done, Sean. I think Ben will be prepared to stand aside and let Rupert take over as leader. I think that will be a mistake. I prefer Ben as a leader, but I wouldn't argue about it. I would be happy either way. I'd be happy either way. They just need to get together. They are a team, a marriage made in heaven. Kevin, well done, Kevin. Yep, lots of people saying that they are talking to Rupert. Deborah Hobbins, a lot of racists, bore off Deborah. Deborah, you don't know what a racist is, and if you don't, have a look in the mirror. Don't ban Deborah, by the way, let her make a fool of herself. Yeah, Ian, let her back in, mate. I'll tell you why, because I always like these people to reveal what they are, how stupid they are. So let her back in, mate. If you can't, don't worry about it, mate. Doesn't matter, either way. So that's where I am. Unity. I'll never give up that belief. I'll never give up that cause, because I believe that our strength lies within our unity and our weakness lies within our division. And this is why I'm a bit pissed off with the FNATs making their move to try and, what's the right word? I'll choose them carefully because I know that people get on me back about this one, but I don't give a shit. They're trying to muscle in on the current position where there is obviously a rising concern across the country about illegal migration and legal migration, immigration in general. Of course there's a concern, and I get that. But that's not the right route, because these people want to throw out our friends within the United Kingdom movement whose granddad might have come from the Caribbean in the 1940s. Really? That's going to save the country, isn't it? That's going to save us. That's going to save us from all the Muslim Brotherhood. That's going to prevent terrorist attacks on our shores, isn't it? Yeah, let's get rid of Jimmy, who came here, whose granddad came here in 1950. Terry Waite, why can't we have the best of both worlds with Ben and Rupert? Yeah, I mean, exactly, yeah. Thank you, Julia, appreciate that. Oh, sorry, Deborah, I apologise. I said people are racist to Ben Habib. I'm no racist, I love Ben Habib. Deborah, apologies. I thought you were calling us racist. Oh dear, I thought you were calling us racist, saying that the chat was full of racists. So, Deborah, my bad. Apologies, my love. Good job we let you back in, isn't it? Oh, this live streaming lark, guys, I've got to tell you, it ain't easy. So, Deborah, forgive me. If we ever meet, remind me and I'll buy you a drink. How about that? Sorry, Deborah, I thought you was calling all of us in the chat racists. Question is, Paul, where do you draw the line on immigration? Well, that's very simple. Legal and illegal migration needs to be halted completely for a minimum period of 5 years. I would say legal migration needs to be halted. This is my view off the top of my head, right? And you can tell me whether you like it or not. I would put an immediate ban on all migration of any type for a minimum of 5 years, whilst removing every single illegal individual that has come into the country over the last 10 or 15 years at least. And take it from there. Yeah, sorry about that, Deborah. I feel bad now. I feel bad because what you was doing was you was only repeating what I said earlier on. It didn't twig. I was saying that some people feel that they don't want Ben as leader because he's half Pakistani. Kevin and Perry, Paul, do you think Farage is starting to run the reformed Tory party down as he is working to leaving the party? It's had his day. I don't think Farage will be there at the general election. I really don't. I think it will be Richard Tice, maybe Zia Youssef. There's a prospect, isn't it? Zia Youssef. Got it. Deborah, got it. Deborah, please don't worry about it. Honestly, love, please don't worry about it. Yeah, not the first time Nigel will have built up a good party and then destroyed it. Why? Very, very good point, that. A very good point indeed. All this CivNat, FNAT talk, I find a bit of a waste of time. You know, I don't even know what, I know what an FNAT is. You know, what is a CivNat? Do I class myself as a CivNat? I don't class myself as anything. I class myself as, well, I'd like to think that I'm a reasonable individual. I'm a human being, a good human being with a heart, who is strongly, very strongly patriotic, very strongly pro-British, pro-English, and I'm fully aware of all the challenges that we face, ethnically and culturally. But the problem is that for those that want I said this the other week, for those people who feel that somehow they can turn the United Kingdom back into a 99.9% white country, it's not going to happen, is it? What can we do? Tell Danny and Ryan they need boats, I think. Good question. I had a brief conversation with Danny on WhatsApp last week. I said, if you need any help, let me know. So, you know, if Danny needs anything, he's only got to ask. No, Ben and Rupert haven't fallen out. No, not as far as I'm aware, not at all. To the contrary, I think they get on very well. And, you know, for those of you just catching up with it, maybe you've come in a little bit later. I'm a supporter of Rupert. Save the United Kingdom. Thank you. God bless you. Elon said, Lowe, can we please get this man as the next Prime Minister? Yeah, I mean, obviously Elon's a fan of Rupert. You see, the problem is that, you know, the opposition that Elon gets from the mainstream media, and what we have to do as an audience that's watching this right now, 1,149 people watching this right now, we all know what the mainstream media do. We all know how the mainstream media spin things. The problem is that your friends and your neighbours don't. That's why, unfortunately as it sounds, the BBC still matters. ITV and Channel 4 still matters, unfortunately. The Sun newspaper still matters, unfortunately, because all of those people out there, right, most of those people that you can see, right, what Brits there are that are sitting on the tables outside cafes, etc. Yeah, and it's even busier in the summer, obviously, a lot busier in the summer. Most of those people will be sitting there reading the current bun, and when they switch the news on, it will be Sky News or whatever. So unfortunately, we know what the media will do to Rupert, what they've done to Ben, what they try and do to Elon Musk. That is why united they fall. Sorry, united they win, divided they fall. They've got to get together. The sheeple, yes. And the bigger and stronger, this is my final message really, the bigger and stronger that our movement becomes. I mean, look how much more powerful it is now. Look how much stronger it is now. Look how much more credible it looks now. Now that the United Kingdom movement and Advance UK have joined forces. Look how much more credible that organisation looks now. Ben invited back onto mainstream media. How do expats feel in Spain about England? Don't even go there. I mean, if I walk along here and stop any Brit and ask them what they think about what's going on back at home, they'd probably smash me camera or spit on it because they're all so frigging angry like everyone else. The amount of people that I see that are here to get away, just like me, to get away. Do I live near the beach pool? About 10 minutes from the beach, maybe a bit less. Not this beach, another beach. So it's all about unity. Yeah, great, absolutely, Juliet. Great to see Ben on talk. But imagine if that was Ben and Rupert, and behind Ben and Rupert is the Unite the Kingdom movement. Danny's good, Tina, thank you. So, anyone that thinks I'm wrong, that's fine, but I'd love to see the better answer. You know, if you can show me a better answer, if you can give me a better alternative, a more credible alternative. Lee lives 15 minutes away from his Aussie beach. I tell you what, Lee, if that was me, I'd be straight down there on my kayak looking for great whites, right? All you find out here with the Brits is a floating turd. A great brown. Cheers, Scotty John. See that, mate. Yeah, I mean, if anyone can come up with a better, more credible, more serious alternative, then show me. And I go back to what I was saying about UKIP earlier on. I don't know what they're playing at. If anyone thinks that the new Iron Cross look of UKIP is a more credible alternative to the potential coalition of Ben Habib, Rupert Lowe and the United Kingdom movement, let me know. Martin, thank you Martin for the super there. Reform are full of MPs from other parties, they are all the same. Just another political party, not a new one, exactly. You should do some metal detecting on the beach. I'm not actually sure if you're allowed, you know. You're not allowed to smoke on the beach in Spain. Let me give you a little look round. It is, let's have a look. Jeff Taylor poll today. Advance and Restore together, 75%. Yeah, but unfortunately, you know, that's the polling of a converted audience, isn't it? I'm afraid that if you went out onto the local high street, the harsh reality is if you stopped 100 people in your local high street, I reckon 8 to 9 out of 10 of them wouldn't even know who Ben is, and probably 6 or 7 of them wouldn't know who Rupert Lowe is. That's the problem. But the buggers all know who Nigel Farage is. Oscar Boxer, FNAT is genetic, not necessarily anti-black. Genetic, right? Who's going to sort the genetics out? What, is everyone in the country going to have a genetics test? What percentage do you have to be able to stay? You know, I'm 100% English. I can trace my family back to the late early 1700s, all English born, mostly, if not exclusively, in the south of England. So does that give me more of a right to stay in England than someone whose dad was Irish? You know, I can't get into all this genetic stuff. It does me head in. Need more publicity for advance. Yeah. Tony says he's totally against ethno-nationalism. Tilly Sanders, I don't think Lowe and Habib will join forces after their reform experiences, and perhaps egos also play a part. There is only one top position. Well, Edward says, I have Sikh mates who are more English and do more for this country than the majority of these Fs. Absolutely. Listen, I'll go back to the old one, right? I'll always revert to this. Always. My position is simple. And if anyone wants to question where my stance is, it's very clear. Anyone that stood in the trenches, anyone that joins our armed services, anyone that's prepared to give their blood, not say they're prepared to give it on a chat forum, anyone that joins our armed services and fights and potentially dies for our country is all right with me. And I said it the other night in a video when I was on a live with Richard. Most of the people, most of our enemies in the United Kingdom are white, just like me. They look just like me, look just like you. Hello, he's happy. Let's have a little look at this over here. Look, someone's happy. See if I can... Yeah, they're definitely happy. Yeah, so for me, anyone that's fought for this country, they're all right, they're good for me, they'll do. What's that about? I don't know, it's a bit early for the old happy backer, isn't it? Hi Trudy, it's been a good live, I've enjoyed this. Let's have a look. Joanne, my sister said she's voting reform. I said, go check out Advance UK. She didn't know who they were. Exactly. Leo, yeah. Silent disco on the beach. Very chilled here at the moment. Let's turn the camera around again. Yeah, it's very chilled here at the moment this time of year. Not many tourists around. Mostly Spanish. More likely doing his TikTok on the beach. I don't think so, he's got no phone. Justice Patriot says millions of people who have different culture and ideology will be our demise. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Tony, morning Paul, how's it going mate? All good, thank you. I love Benidorm and Advance UK, but we all know by the far best chance of getting rid of Labour is reform. Every poll you look at says they are walking it. No, look, I get that, and you know, again, you know, I like to think that I'm an honest person. You know, I don't run on BS, right? And I'm not stupid enough to believe that you lot are stupid either, right? We all know the situation without necessarily saying it out loud. We all know the situation with reform. We all know their current standing in the polls. And if there was a general election tomorrow or next week or even next month or maybe even next year, we'd all have to think very, very carefully and very seriously about where we put our crosses in the box. I think it will be more about at the next general election, if it was to come too soon for us at Advance. Yeah, Paula, this is a bit of a concrete jungle, but that's then you know, that's it. Then you get out into the lovely countryside. Blimey, I forgot what I was saying now. Anyway, doesn't matter. Thank you, Thomas. Paul, where's your dogs? And did you have any problems getting your dogs in the country? Yeah, the dogs are back at home. One of them's got the 2 bob bits this morning. That's why I'm out. I've left Mrs. Falk to clear that up. They're both good. The cats, we've got the cats as well. The cats go for a walk every night with a Rottweiler, which causes a lot of head. He's still at it, this geezer. Yeah, he's happy. He's definitely happy. 60 degrees in old money today. Jason, not your best thread, Paul, mate. I have to say Rupert is no less of a people's man than Ben. It's just you're acquainted with Ben, that's all. Jason, it could be. Let's forget me. Let's forget me, because someone else said, oh, Paul, is that about your ego? Let's put me to one side for a minute. How many smaller channels, not even small, excuse me, not even smaller channels, how many channels have you seen Rupert appear on where the presenter isn't extremely well spoken? And I'll give you 3 examples. Connor Tomlinson, Andrew Gold, Carl Benjamin, I think, what's the other guy? I can't remember his name now, but you know, every time you see him appear on a channel, it's always with someone that speaks with an Oxbridge accent. So forget me. Ask Liam Tufts. Has he appeared on Liam's channel? No. Has he appeared on Richard's channel? No. Has he appeared on... oh, he's appeared on Mayer's channel, hasn't he? Yeah, he's appeared on Mayer's channel, but again, Mayer kind of fits the bill, doesn't he? But that's just my opinion. I might be wrong, but it would be nice to see. Rupert, again, if you're watching this, forget me. Go. Can you do me a favour, Rupert? Can you go on Liam Tufts' channel? That'd be good. Let's see Rupert. I'd love to see Rupert on Liam Tufts' channel. He was on Liam Tufts' show about 5 months ago. Was he? I don't recall that. Are you sure? Yeah, he goes on the Dan Wharton show. You have to be of a certain level. That's what I'm saying. For Rupert, I think you've got to be at a certain level, both in numbers, which I've got, but I don't have the accent. And Dan, for example, goes on both. You can't compare Dan Wharton and myself. Dan has a much better show, a much better accent. He's much more mainstream media style, isn't he? Just saw Starmer in a bikini in the background. I'll tell you what. He'd last 5 minutes here, Starmer. We don't speak posh enough, do we? Exactly. Exactly. Haha. Cheers, Caroline. Moosey, appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Proper. Yeah, exactly. Got to have a proper accent. No, I don't mind. You know, look, I accept that. I've always, in fact, and you asked anyone that knows me, in fact, Ben will confirm this. Ben Habib would confirm this if you want to ask him. He's still at it, this geezer, and now he's got his top off. He's getting warm. He's warming up. Can't stand all Dan's bloody manscaping adverts. Well, you've got to earn your money somehow, right? I wish Manscaped would come along and sponsor me. Should we have another look at this fella? What do you reckon? Should we have another look? With all due respect, that Ben was desperate for support. Yep, true enough, maybe. Martin, thank you, Martin. I'm from Clacton-on-Sea. I voted reform Nigel Farage is a liar. I won't vote for him again, and I believe in Advance UK. I am a member. Well done. Carol says, I'll be voting for Rupert. You'll have a job, Carol, unless you're in his constituency, because he doesn't have a party. And it would be interesting to see who he actually backs should there be an election. Let's have a little look. Go on, my son. Why not? He's at me. Maya is busy with Iran. Yeah, understandably so. Understandably so. Paul, we love good hearts. Accents really don't matter. Yeah, hopefully. Well, that's, you know, and Rupert said, you know, we need a generation of politicians that probably don't come from a professional political background, if you like. Benny's great, but Nigel and the rest of Parliament is shit scared of Rupert. I'm not going to argue with that. So sign him up. Come on, Rupert. Do the business. So before we wrap up today, because we've been on for over an hour, 1,121 people watching. Guys, if you haven't done so, please give me an upvote and please subscribe. Over the last week, I've lost a few subscribers, and that's because I haven't been posting so regularly. But YouTube have been heavily censoring my videos once again. Thanks, Nelly. So please give us an upvote. Let's have a look. How many have we got? 683 upvotes. Can you get that up to, come on, 750? Can you do that for me? Carol says restore for me. Fair enough, Carol. I'll go along with that. I'm not going to argue with you, my love, because we are all on the same side. But wouldn't it be good if Rupert and Ben got together, because they would be an unstoppable force. What do we want? I'll leave you with this. What do we want in the UK? Do we want to ponce around? Do we want to ponce around being divided, having groups over here, groups over there, arguments from this side, arguments from that side, splits from within? Do we want that for the next 2 or 3 years as we build up to the next general election? When Farage and co can storm to victory on the back of being Conservative Mark II with a few ex-Lib Dems and a few ex-Labour thrown in for the good of it? Or do we want unity? Do we want Ben Habib and Rupert Lowe to unite and to storm this country? We want unity, right? Unity. United, we win. Divided, we lose. Helen, unity is why I want Rupert with Advance. Until, look, the left must be laughing at us. Guys, come and please hit that upvote button, get me up to 800. The left must be laughing at us, because what they see is they see the potential. They know what we can do, but we refuse to do it. Crazy. Ben and Rupert together rule the universe. And don't forget, Elon's in the back as well. Yeah, Carol, yeah, I don't think Liam has, as far as I know, like me, Liam has asked Rupert to appear on his show and he hasn't. So that's, you know, that's his prerogative. He might feel that that's the best way forward. I would strongly disagree with that because, you know, we are the people and it's the people that offer you votes, right? Right, guys, I have thoroughly enjoyed being with you this afternoon. I've no idea what the goddamn time is because I can't see it when I'm live. John says, so many like you moving to Spain. I've bought a holiday home and thinking of moving permanently. Yeah, so many people are. Does YouTube give you a reason for suppressing your channel, Paul, or is it a stealth thing? You know, look, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to play victim here, right? I don't think YouTube look at me and go, let's suppress Paul Thorpe's channel. We don't like him. We don't like his message. We don't like his politics. Let's suppress him. I don't think it's that. I think what it is that YouTube persistently and constantly change their algorithm. And unless you're an algorithm scientist and you spend more time studying the algorithm than you do making a video, you're always going to be behind with the bloody algorithm. The other thing is, there is one fault with YouTube right now that I absolutely know for a fact does affect this channel more than some others, is that my subscribers don't get their notifications. You subscribe, you hit the notification bell. If you haven't done that, by the way, guys, please make sure you got the notification bell turned on. Thanks, Debbie. Yeah, my subscribers don't always get a notification. Yeah, look, see there, that's Juliet, never get a notification. So, Oscar Boxer 1, don't forget, FNAT is not racist. I don't know, you'd have to explain that one to me, mate. You'd have to explain that to me. I don't see how that can be claimed. But I'm always willing to listen to other people's opinions. The problem is, whether you're right or whether you're wrong, I go back to what I said earlier on. It's about perception. It's about perception. Just like the UKIP logo that I spoke about earlier on, doesn't really matter what it means. It doesn't really matter the deep meaning of it, because people that look at it, the people that matter, the people that vote, they don't look into this stuff. It's a first impression, and as I said earlier, you only get one chance at a first impression. Guna, thank you. Guys, make sure you have the bell set to all and not just personalised. Right, you beautiful people. Perception is reality, exactly. And again, look, before I go, I want to make it clear to any UKIP supporters out there, to Nick Tanconi, to people within UKIP, I'm not having a go at you guys. You all have my respect. Nick is welcome on my channel anytime he wants to come, and I belong to Advance UK, but I like Nick and I respect the guy. But who chose that logo? Come on, please. I mean, just wow, I don't get it. Just left Reform, got a £25 refund. Oscar, I support all patriots. Good man. That's the way forward. That's the way forward. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you all. I am definitely going to go and have a bit of breakfast on my old mate Ian. Cheers, Ian. Thank you very much for that earlier on. Will do. Am I on X, Paul? Do you know what, Budge? I used to have a pretty big X account, a pretty big one, but I found it to be so confrontational that it actually, to be honest with you, it was actually paying as much as YouTube at times, if not more. But I found it to take up so much of my time because it was so confrontational that I just don't think it was good for my well-being, my mental well-being, as it were. And I like to concentrate on positivity if I can. Paul, please can you do a shout out for my friend Katie? Get well soon. She is in the hospital very poorly. Katie, get well soon. Bless your heart. I'm sure you'll be back home soon. We're all with you. And yeah, get well soon. Right, love you all. See you.